जय हिंद दोस्तों, मैं हूं मेजर मोहम्मद अली शाह और आज मेरा बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है. आई फील ट्रूली ऑनर्ड एंड ब्लेस्ड एंड प्रिविलेज्ड टू हैव a very illustrious, renowned personality, a true national hero, the father of a national hero. Soldiering is in his blood, उनके रग रग में है. Who was commissioned into the regiment of Maratha Light Infantry in the year 1962, जब इंडिया चाइना वॉर हो रही थी उस वक्त. He missed the 1962 war by 20 days, मगर वो जोश, वो जज्बा, that passion, उसके बाद that led him on to fight the 1965 war and thereafter the 1971 war. And उसके बाद इनके खुद के, इनके बेटे, जिनको हम सब जानते हैं, कैप्टन विजयंत थापड़ वीर चक्र, वो कारगिल में शहादत प्राप्त कर गए थे हम सब की भविष्य के लिए, हम सबको बचाने के लिए, हम सबको सरहदें बचाते हुए. आइए गुफ्तगू में आते हैं एक ऐसी शख्सियत, एक ऐसे रियल लाइफ हीरो के साथ जिन्होंने अपनी जान की परवाह ना करके, अपनी जान की बाजी लगाकर, अपनी जान पे खेलकर दुश्मनों के आगे आमने सामने उनके परिवार ने उन्हें मुकाबला किया है हमारी हिफाजत के लिए. सर, जय हिंद सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर टेकिंग योर टाइम फॉर अस सर.
जय हिंद और पूरे देश को आज के दिन की मुबारक.
जी सर, हैप्पी विजय दिवस सर. सर, व्हाट एन ऑनर सर कि आपके साथ मैं गुफ्तगू में हूं सर. आपको, आपके बारे में इतना मैं पढ़ चुका हूं, इतना मैं, बल्कि सर कैप्टन विजयंत थापड़ का जो खत है जो उन्होंने लिखा था आपको, द लास्ट लेटर, वो मैं अपने TEDx टॉक में भी बयां कर चुका हूं. मैंने आपको कॉल किया था सर, मैंने वो लेटर मैंने पढ़ा नहीं था सर, मैंने रिसाइट किया था. मेरे को ज़बान नहीं आता है. अगर आप इजाजत दें सर, मैं 1 मिनट के लिए वो लेटर मैं जरा आपके लिए पढ़ना चाहता हूं सर. आज
जी पढ़ दे.
शुक्रिया सर. Dearest Papa, Mummy, Granny, and Bertie, by the time you get this letter, I would be observing you all from the skies, enjoying the hospitality of Apsaras. I have no regrets. In fact, if I were to be born again as a human, I would choose to join the army and fight for my country. Whichever organ needs to be taken should be taken and donated. Please donate some money to the orphanage and continue giving ₹50 to Ruxana every month. And please go and meet Yogi Baba. Papa, you must be proud. Mama, so must you. I hope a picture of mine is kept in the Alpha Company Mandir next to Karni Mata. I hope the sacrifice of these brave men is remembered and inspires generations to come. If ever you get a chance, please come and see where the Indian Army fought for your tomorrow. Mamaji, please forgive me for anything wrong that I may have done. Anyhow, it's about time I go and join my clan of Dirty Dozen. My assault party has 12 chaps. Live life, king size, yours, Robin, Jai Hind. And then he went for his final assault. But, sir, I'm so sorry, my video apologies. कुछ अल्फाज हैं जो मैं right now, because I'm speaking to you, sir, it was not in the exact words verbatim, but the emotion of that letter, sir. So let us begin by your commissioning in 1962. So what led you to join the army? What was your motivation behind joining the army, sir?
Well, Ali, our family is the 4th generation in the army, and at those times, my times, the preferred career choice was always army. It was a noble profession, and everybody, even at the cost of other careers like the civil services or any other doctors or engineers, people prefer to come, or young men prefer to come to the forces, be it the army or be it the air force. It was the discipline, the kind of bearing, the uniforms, and the dedication to the country which the army officers displayed that attracted the large youngsters with hot blood. They wanted to join the armed forces always. That was the first choice. And the outlook of the people towards an army officer was full of respect, full of trying to emulate them in their own lives. that made us feel very important and nice. So that's what attracted me to the armed forces.
So when you were commissioned in 1962, sir, you missed the 1962 war by 20 days. उस टाइम पे सर आप यंग थे और वो जोश, वो जज्बा, वो जुनून एंड स्पेशली कमिंग फ्रॉम हैविंग अ मार्शल ट्रेडिशन इन द फैमिली सर, तो उस वक्त आपके दिल पे क्या बीती सर जब आप जंग में आप
अरे
शरीक नहीं हो पाए?
वो दर्द अभी तक चल रहा है, कभी खत्म ही नहीं होगा, क्योंकि we considered ourselves robbed of an opportunity of going to the front and fighting for the country. In my opinion, nothing is more important than the nation, and if you can fight for the nation and doing something good for the nation, there is no other prayer, no other pilgrimage, no other devotion that can be more divine. Please remember, country is always first, every time. And that's how we must. And that is when we miss that chance, that little chance of 10 days, 20 days, we could not forgive everyone.
जी सर. सर उसके बाद एनीवे आपने 1965 की आपने युद्ध लड़ी. आपने आपका तजुर्बा बताइए सर 1965 का. आप कहाँ पे डिप्लॉयड थे शुरुआत में, और जब आपको आपकी पलटन को संदेश मिला, आपको सिग्नल मिला कि आपको वहां पे आगे फॉरवर्ड एरिया में डिप्लॉय होना है, तो वो तजुर्बा बताइए सर
तो
प्लीज.
देखिए, उस वक्त मैं जो था, आई moved out of my battalion, and in 65 I was commanding a border outpost at Nathula in Sikkim. So when the battles were going on with Pakistan in a very big way, at that time when we were at the height peak of the battles, at that time China decided to put pressure on us and to relieve the Indian pressure on Lahore, Barki, Dogra'i, and all those places. So the PLA, they advanced towards two critical passes in Sikkim, Nathula and Jalapla. And at Nathula, I was the company commander, and then beyond there was Chola, 16,000 and more, and there was the fourth para over there with Major Perry. We stuck out. We had a fight with the Chinese, and we stuck dug our heels, and we stayed there because it was a very scary scenario with one battalion, full battalion of the PLA, and about 30 chaps of ours. We had to face the machine gun and mortars of the whole battalion. 8 machine guns opened fire that night, and we stayed on. So that is we stayed on, and we contained the pressure exerted by Pakistan. I was put up for a VRC, but I got a commendation card. So be it. But that was the action. Another action took place at Jalapla on our right, 27 Division. We were in 17th Dev. In 27 Division, besides the Chinese, we all had a tremendous fear of loneliness, of being isolated, being cut off, because the Chinese used to come behind, and then that fear was also always there. But we stuck. I told my men, under no circumstances will we leave this place. We will die here only. So that is the brief story of 65. The pressure was so immense that on that night, in the morning of that night, we had the entire media from the whole world congregate at Nathula. They forgot about the fiery battles going on the western border with Pakistan. At that moment of time, their whole worry and focus became Nathula.
So, sir, and you had the honor of having fought the 1971 war as well, sir. And so did
So
my father.
in 71, I was an instructor in the infantry school. And when the 71 war broke out, Again, everybody wanted to rush to the front line. I was posted to 23 Div Kilo Force in 4 Corps, and I saw uh, the battle in Chittagong and in Feni and Belonia.
sir, sir. And what was the when you were in Mao? So कैसे आपको you were made to move there on emergency? कैसे आपको सिग्नल मिला सर कि आपको यहाँ
नहीं,
पे मूव
हमें
करना है?
हमें उन्होंने चुनिंदा ऑफिसर्स को चुनिंदा अपॉइंटमेंट्स के लिए भेज दिया, जैसे कि for commando missions, people from the commando wing. For other missions, people like me were attached to 4 Corps, and 4 Corps further sent us to Kilo Force and 23 Dev. So we moved with the forces. I was with two Rajput, famous two Rajput, and they fought solid actions. And then ultimately, I finished with 3 Dogra and
Sir,
83 Brigade. Yeah, I was with them. Yeah.
sir, you are such a proud father, and sir, I can see Captain Vijayant Thapar's pictures in the background, and who you affectionately called Robin. And when he decided to join the army, because Bertie is also a friend of mine, so he's super excellent in golf. So you have two sons, and when Captain Vijayant Thapar decided to join the army, so was it that it was understood that one of your sons will join the army, considering your martial tradition of the family, or he expressed a desire to join the army, and what was the reaction on that, sir?
No, from the day he was born, Ali, from the day he was born, like you must have also faced the same situation. We had soldiers roaming around, tanks, guns, aircraft. My younger brother was in the Air Force, right there in Pathankot itself. So we had a total environment of the military. The thought of joining anything other than the military was foreclosed. And as far as Vijayant was concerned, he never gave an iota of thought to anything else but the armed forces.
Wow, sir. Wow. Sir, and so tell me, how was he in school as a student? Like, full of Josh,
He,
we all know that, sir.
he was an average student, and his mind was elsewhere. I mean, if you permit me to tell you that he used to study the airframes of fighters.
Sir.
I mean, there is a ninth class boy got the technical books of the fighters and trying to go over them. That was the kind of attachment he had for the armed forces.
Sir.
And let me also tell you that if you come to his room sometime, you will find his charts are still there, his pinups are there. His pinups are not of uh, Jean Fonda or some girls like that, but they are all of Osama bin Laden, and he is aimed at his head. So that's the kind of psychology, mental makeup that he had.
Sir. And sir, so tell me about the day of the passing out parade, sir. It must have been a very, very proud moment, obviously, like any other parent. Your
Yeah,
man, whistle for you, sir.
yeah. It took me back to my own passing out parade because the IMA is a traditional and a tremendously what do you call bound by the way of life that doesn't change ever. So you have the columns of smartly dressed IMA cadets, boots polishing, tips of their uh, bannets and everything, spick and span, and they're going like a planets, and you are watching and you feel very proud. It takes you back to your own days. In I took me back in 19 bitter winter of 1962 when we passed out, and the tune that was played was Colonel Bogie,
Oh,
and that's it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And when Robin passed out, it was Sare Jahan Se Acha.
Wow.
And therefore, it is the most emotional. It may not be so emotional for the non-military father, military. I'm not even saying Air Force, but for a military father, same portal, same parade ground, same Dronacharya gate, same the honor, safety, welfare of your country comes first always and every time. So you have a very great emotional attachment, emotional.
Yes, sir. Sir, where was Captain Vijayant's first posting upon commissioning?
Oh, acha, Captain Vijayant Thapar. Now you're asking me these questions, and maybe this is being live streamlined or something. I want to tell everybody who has these questions to please read his book. We have written a book called Vijayant at Kargil. It is available on the uh, Amazon and online. Please order it. It's a very simple. It is meant for the youth. It is aimed at motivating the youth, and all the queries are answered. He was posted to Gwalior,
Sir.
and at Gwalior they were there for 1 or 2 months, during which they were preparing to move to Kupwara.
Sir. Sir. And then, sir, tell me about. He fought very bravely. We all know that, sir. We all know how bravely he fought, and And tell me more about your book, sir. There's this book that you have. When was it released, sir? And where? And people can, I'm sure, they can order it online on Flipkart, Amazon, the nearest big bookstore. Would like to know more on this book, sir, please.
Yeah, yeah. The book is extremely popular. Only yesterday, the university at Manasa, this Hero companies, Munjal University in Manasa, they distributed these books to the final year students. So I was very happy. They called me over there and we spoke about it.
Oh,
Uh,
you were on your way there, sir. कल अब जब आपसे बात हुई थी फोन पे, आप गली में उतर रहे
हाँ,
थे. Okay, got it,
along
got it.
with along with
Mohit, Mohit, sir.
Huh, correct. So
Sir.
we went there and we did this, and it made me very immensely happy because my aim in writing this book is not only recording it is a, despite being my son himself, but keeping that aside, a great fighter. His actions deserve to be recorded for history, and so were the battles. The amazing battles that they were fought. Battle of Tololing and Battle of Nall Three Pimples. These are amazing battles, particularly the Battle of Three Pimples and Nall. It has been downplayed. Otherwise, it was the most hard fought battle in Kargil, in which 3 officers got killed in one battle. 4 officers were killed in overall, but 3 officers were killed in that night, in that battle. 3 were wounded. 52 Jawans were wounded. 10 Jawans were killed. So that was the kind of difficulty that they faced, but they did their job. So that's the kind of dedication we expect from every Indian who's charged with any responsibility. The dedication. Of course, this is dedication to the extreme, to give up your life also. But uh, such dedication should be there to any task that is given to you. Then only India can become great.
Very true, sir. Very true. So, when did the news reach you of Captain Vijay, and how was it conveyed to you, sir, when Captain Vijayant Thapar attained martyrdom?
Well, actually, I was in Alwar. I was doing a court martial, and I didn't know that he is in the midst of such heavy fighting. So, in the break during the court martial, tea break, a call came from AG's branch. And the moment the call came, and they said the AG, please come to the telephone. I went there, and
Come to the
I
airport.
did,
Come where, sir?
no, in the medium regiment
Okay.
at
Okay.
Alwar.
Okay.
So they told me that the the department from which the call had come, being an old officer, I knew that it is about Vijayant. And my heart sank. I prayed to God quickly that let it be just an injury and not anything more. But my, God didn't accept my plea. The worst had happened. He was killed that night. They just said that, sir, we regret to inform you that your son died last night, was killed last night, fighting very bravely against the Pakistani troops at North and cut. That's all. And my wife received a similar message from the army headquarters through my younger son, Vijayendra, that Vijayant had fallen in battle.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. I'm
No,
can't
I mean,
imagine what.
look, it's like this. I always tell there's nothing to feel. I mean, of course, as a father, you feel sorry, and as a somebody who has sympathy, you will express it. But I always say this one thing, and it is not to rationalize the loss. It is actually the life is not measured in terms of its length. Never. It's not measured in terms of its length. You may live 80 years like many of us have just lived and gone without doing anything. It is always measured in terms of its depth. What have you done? Like Vijayan, the other example is that of Bhagat Singh. Look at him, 22 years old. He's worshipped in the country. So, actually, what you have done and your depth of your life, what was your life like? So, you find that I have written there in online. I've written that the way you left this world at a young age of 22, you know, it is something. It shows your values and what you wanted in life, and it's a legacy for all times to come for the young Indians. Now, this letter and my comments have been put up in the Hall of Fame in Leh. So that's the kind of thing that you see. You and I, everybody has to go from this world one day. What matters is the way in which you go. You see this young officer, there is no better way to go than Vijayan. I'm telling you right here. Given the choice, I would like to go like that only. Senior officers have written to me to say that, we were not so fortunate to get an opportunity like him. That is, you are fighting the enemy is in front of you. You have a rifle in your hand and you are killed and you fall in the arms of your comrade. What greater honor can be there than that? That's the way to leave this world.
Yes, sir. So, Captain Vijayant Thapar truly lived up to the Chetwood credo, which we all swore, which we all took an oath. You, Captain Vijayant Thapar, myself, the safety, honor, welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the men you command comes next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety comes last, always and every time. Sir, you are, I don't know, I don't have words to express my respect and really, sir, आप वाकई में सर, आपका खानदान, आपकी जो योगदान है, आपने जो सेवा करी है, as you said, sir, rightly, how can a man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods? Sir, वाकई में Captain Vijayant Thapar सदा अमर रहेंगे. He's a legend, and legends never die. They live in our hearts and minds forever, and we revere them forever, sir. He is truly an inspiration, as he wrote in the letter. I hope this letter inspires the generations to come. It does. It does, sir. I get goosebumps each time I read that letter. I've read your response to him as well. My dear son, at the early age of 20, the way you left, the way your emotion, sir, Zabardast, I don't have words, sir. And sir, thank you very much for your time, sir. And for all the viewers who are watching us, I would like to say one quote dedicated to all our martyrs. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. Sir, any last
To,
message you'd like to convey, sir?
yeah, to your listeners, I just want to say one small thing that the heroes are the steel and cement of this nation. The nation strives, remains as a great nation because it's got heroes. And the heroes will remain alive till you all remember them. And we always need heroes for this reason. And luckily for India, we have a huge lineup of heroes. Everyone is prepared to give up his life for the country. It is for you to decide what you can do for him. There's nothing more that a soldier can do than give up his life. And it is for you to decide whether you're doing enough or you're required to do something more. So, with that, I will thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Truly grateful to you, sir, for your time. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Just ending the broadcast.